Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Saturday School. We've been having these Saturday Schools consistently for the last, I guess I would say, 5 weeks. This is week number 6, and in the Saturday School, we have been going through the WP Theme Setup Guide. And the WP Theme Setup Guide is just something to get you caught up with the basics of WordPress, learning what's necessary, the fundamentals to actually set up your own WordPress theme, some of the necessary tools, some of those helpful tools for yourself to begin to move forward with WordPress web development or a theme, building and setting up a theme. Now, because there's such a variety of themes and such a variety of ways to set up your theme, there really is a lot to cover. But if you get a good grasp, a firm grasp, if you have a firm grasp on the fundamentals of what a WordPress website is, the terminology, the things about administrative admin, managing the admin and content management. If you get most of those things down, then you already won half of the battle. So with the Saturday School, that's what we're covering. And the idea for Saturday School came about because I run a meetup group here in Southern California. It's called the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup Group. And I do have members and people who come to the group on a regular basis. And when they come to the group, they have questions. They have lots of questions. And most of those questions pertain to what we're covering in this Saturday School series. And so this time is really out of a sense of, hey, I want to help these guys get caught up. I want to help them get caught up. And we are also publishing these Saturday Schools on a regular basis to YouTube. So this is a Google Hangout on Air right now, and this Hangout on Air is actually being published to YouTube after the fact. And so I really appreciate you joining in, viewing. If you are wanting to join the actual Hangout, I have posted a link within our Facebook group, which I'll tell you more about if you don't know about that in a little bit. But Saturday School is really intended to help the members of our meetup group just kind of get a good grasp of those fundamentals. And hopefully down the line, we will be taking more in-depth questions. At this point, we have covered, many basic things all the way up to, I think last week we were talking about plugins, and today we're going to get a little bit more into navigation menus. We have covered navigation menus briefly in the other Saturday Schools, some other Saturday Schools, but today we're also going to go more in depth with that, and as well as different parts of custom themes and theme customization and things like that. So the key of this Saturday School is to help people who maybe they purchase a custom theme off of a marketplace, and with that custom theme, they are actually, having trouble setting it up, and they're thinking, how can I get this to look, the way it did when I purchased it? And so with that said, how can I get this to look the way I did when I purchased it? Understanding the fundamentals of a WordPress setup will take you a long way. And before I go any further, I would like to also acknowledge one of the people who helped me with Saturday School. Her name is Deb Donahoe. She is helping out with a lot of the technical things that need to be, just kind of tweaked a little bit. And she should be on the Saturday School website, probably, just monitor and chat here and there. So you can always shoot a question to her. And I will share with you where you can go to, find the archives of Saturday School as well. If you're picking this Saturday School up on YouTube, then you can go to our website as well. So I'm going to share my screen briefly and make a few announcements. And let's see. Here we go. So just a few announcements for you guys. First and foremost, before we go any further, I'm part of the organizing committee of the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group. This is our home page. You can actually go to meetup.com. This is actually our homepage on meetup.com. You can actually go to meetup.com/Inland Empire WP. And at this website, you will be given a schedule or a listing of all of our previous meetings directly here in the middle. On the left sidebar, you can read a little bit about us if you click on the About Us section. And this group is not just for advanced users, and I want to make that clear, because a lot of people come and they say, oh, I'm so new, I don't know what to do. This group is not just for advanced users, it's for beginners all the way through to advanced, because we are all on different levels. We're all located in the Inland Empire. We meet once a month, in-person. This is our in-person meetings. We meet on the first Tuesday, and we discuss all things WordPress. First Tuesday of every month. So the next meetup, we'll cover that actually in a minute here. We meet via live stream virtually every Saturday for Saturday School. You can find the archives on YouTube. So really all you need to do is a search on YouTube and search for Inland Empire WordPress Meetup Group, or you can search for Inland Empire Saturday School. Whatever you want to do on YouTube, you'll find these videos archived. We meet in our online Facebook group as well. And so I'll show you the Facebook group as well. And if you want to join the Facebook group, that is a place where we're giving out tips, we're giving out advice, we're answering your questions throughout the week. It's our actual virtual meeting location at this point where you come on and ask a question and get an answer. And so we're trying to educate, we're trying to get the word out there. It doesn't matter if you've been working with WordPress platform for a short time, not at all, or many years. You are welcome to our family. And we are a tech family. Come and learn more. So we want to welcome you, extend the invitation for you to come out and come join our meetup group. We got lots going on. I want to show you, next meetup is going to be January 5th. Okay, so the actual meetup in person will be January 5th. This is it right here. And our topic, it's a new year. Of course, it's a new year. January 5th, 2016, come out, starts Tuesdays. January 5th, starts at 7 p.m., goes till 9 p.m. We meet at Riverside IO, 3976 Market Street in downtown Riverside. This is the website for Riverside IO. Come out. It's a great venue. Like, this is where we're at right here. nice little spot where you can come in and relax, bring your laptop, you know, get educated in WordPress and actually form new connections in the community. So maybe one of your New Year's resolutions would be to learn WordPress in a more thorough way. Don't miss out on the meetup group. Don't miss out on the in-person meetups. We only have them once a month, and they're great opportunities for you to grow and to make those connections. So check us out there. This is our Facebook group. The next one I was telling you a little bit about. We're here sharing tips, answering questions. We got a member here who asked a question, working on getting an answer to that. And we post resources. So come to facebook.com/groups/Inland Empire WP. This is a place where, once again, we post resources and we answer your questions. You can join us there. All you have to do is request to become a member, and we will let you in. Next thing I would ask you to do is follow us on Twitter. So we got Inland Empire WP. IEWP is the Twitter handle. So go to twitter.com/IEWP and join us on Twitter. I obviously have tweeted a few things here, and we'll see what they are. So go ahead and check us out there. And the next thing I want to share a little bit about is WordPress TV. This is a great place for you to go, for you to understand and get educated with WordPress. I mean, like, everything I'm sharing with you is really a WordPress education resource. So WordPress TV, usually the videos that, you know, are taken at our WordCamps. WordCamps, I'll tell you a little bit more about those. They happen worldwide. They are uploaded to WordPress TV. And so here's the website for WordCamp, WordCamp Central. WordCamps are more like the pinnacle event that for WordPress. They happen in different cities. So currently we have more WordCamps coming up next year. I don't see any for this year. I think maybe they're all, you know, all the WordCamps for this year have gone or have happened. But the next WordCamp is happening in Paris, February 5th to 6th. Then there will be Norway, Miami. The next one in the US is Miami. And then we got Dayton, Ohio, and Atlanta. And keep your eyes open, because really we're shooting to try to get a WordCamp in the Inland Empire. So keep your eyes open for that. So the WordCamp, again, is a weekend. It's usually like a weekend summit. And I will go actually here and just kind of give you an idea. Looks like the Paris does not have a website, but let's see if Miami has a website. No, I'm not seeing the website here either. So I might just need to open a new tab really quick to show you. There actually is another WordCamp coming up in San Diego, Southern California. If you're in the Southern California area, really soon. That's the closest one to me. So I'm just going to go to the San Diego WordCamp website just so you can get a visual of, you know, what it is about. So WordCamps San Diego is happening April 23rd and 24th of 2016. They're looking for speakers, and I haven't submitted my speaker. You know, I haven't submitted my speaker application yet, but I'm gonna get on top of that because more than likely I'm going to speak at this one. They're also looking for sponsors. Well, this really WordCamps are the pinnacle event for WordPress attendees. You go and you basically have a weekend of teaching, and they rent out a venue, and they cater food, and they give away t-shirts, and all of this is for minimum of $40, maximum around $50, which is amazing. So if you want a ticket to a WordCamp, then usually the tickets are not more than $50, just so you can attend. And it's an amazing weekend of learning, networking, and all of the above. So you can check out WordCamp Central, or central.wordcamp.org, for the schedule of WordCamps. And then there would be a particular site for you to go to, for you to actually make your ticket, or buy your ticket for a particular WordCamp. So check that out. And then once again, WordPress TV is where they upload the videos of what the speakers have presented at WordCamp. And it's filled with resources. I watch videos on here. I used to watch them more regularly, but if you are wanting to learn new things about WordPress and find out some of the more cutting edge things sometimes, then no better way to get a grasp on what's going on in the WordPress world than perusing the WordPress TV website. So check that out. And here's the website for Saturday School. If you just want to tune in, then come here to InlandEmpireWP.com. This is the website for the Inland Empire WordPress community group. And then go to /Saturday-School. It's a great place for you to go. Check it out. And without further ado, we are going to get started. Okay, this is WP Tavern, a website with a lot of good resources about WordPress as well. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. If you want to know more about WordPress news, there's several great news sites. But check out WP Tavern because it's a good one as well. So today we are actually talking about plugins. So as you can see, we have made it to the spot in the WP theme setup guide where there is currently no more content. This is a guide under development. However, we're going to go over today. Actually, we went over plugins last week, but I'll recap a little bit about plugins today. And the next thing will be menus. We did talk a little bit about menus before. And so these are a little bit, these are going to be a little bit more in depth today. And then headers is another one. So it's going to be a little bit more in depth than the previous presentations on these things. So let's jump into this. All right, so what I have here is my local host. This is my local development server, and I'm going to open this up. This Saturday School website that we've been developing. I'm using an application called Desktop Server, and what I will need to do is change what I'm presenting from one screen to another. So I'm going to stop presenting that screen, and I'm going to present another screen. It's the Saturday screen, or the Saturday School website screen. Here we go. So this is kind of where we left off the last time. And we talked about page templates last time. We covered that, and today we are going to go in depth about menus. And here we go. I'm just going to share that. Okay, boom. So if I share my video there, it's going to get a little bit messy. So I got two screens open. I have two screens open. The first screen is our resources screen here because we need to know where we're at. And then the second screen is our Saturday School website. The last time we talked a little bit about menus. We kind of ended on that note. So let's recap. Plugins. If I go to the dashboard of my website here for the Saturday School website, then I will notice several things. This place is really busy. However, I want to navigate to my plugins. Plugins will be on the left side, in the left sidebar, and you just click on plugins. You can see every plugin that is currently installed on your website. You can see if they need updates. As an administrator, I can see all of this information. There are 4 plugins. You can filter them by status, the status of the plugin. So you can just look at all plugins. You can look at active plugins if you click on active. And you can look at the inactive plugins. You can also check out what updates you may have available. It gives you the number of plugins that actually need an update. So cool thing that was introduced a couple of versions back was this little upgrade bar here. This upgrade bar allows you to, instead of going to another screen, you can asynchronously update your plugins from here just by clicking this update button. So if I wanted to just update this Kismet plugin, I can click update. It won't take me away from this screen, and I find this rather helpful. So this plugin has now been updated. Previously, if I wanted to update a plugin, this little bar at the top takes me to all of my actual total updates needed for the website, which are 5, but it didn't auto update because now there should be 4 updates. But there's still, it says 5 here at the top. So this little bar at the top usually should keep up with how many updates there are. So it says 4 here, but there's 5 here. It's just a little bit, maybe a little glitch there. I actually can update the core of my WordPress website. And let's talk about best practices. One of the best practices, when you see these update symbols flashing on your website, one of the best practices is going to be for you to not update directly on your server. This is actually a local development website, so I'm safe here. But you still, like, one of the best practices is you want to back up your database and files. So your database, and whether it be your theme, because when you update, it could break that. It could break your theme, and it could cause your website to, sometimes if you have updated particular files, if you're not using best practices by creating what's called child themes, if you're not creating child themes, then that could also override any code you have placed into a theme to modify it. Updates will do that. So we have plugin updates. First, we have core updates on this screen. We have plugin updates, and we have theme updates. So you can actually update all of these at once if you wanted to. And I'm just going to do that. These are extra themes, really. I'm not using all of those. So usually, if I'm not using something, I I rarely let it just sit around in my WordPress install. I would just go in and I'll delete the stuff that I don't use. But for the sake of demonstration, I'm leaving these here, and I'm going to click Update Themes, and it goes through the updater, the installer, or and I've just successfully updated all of our themes at the click of a button, taking into mind that this is a locally installed website. So I'm not at a danger, so to speak, of taking down, a fully operating live production website. And I would have a backup of this. This on my desktop could be considered a backup, but I probably would make another backup of this desktop version as well. And maybe backups would be something we can cover at a later time. So the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to click this update button for the actual core version of WordPress, and that is going to update the very core. I mean, that is a huge update. So this is a huge update, and normally, I just want to have all of my checks in place, every balance, to say, hey, did you back this up? Did you back this up? Did you back this up? If I haven't got all of these things in order, I wouldn't click that button, And so just to let you know, like just to be safe, to be very, very safe, you always want to make multiple backups. You always want to make sure that you are not, just throwing something on there, and just throwing any kind of update on there. And so we have updated this to 4.4, WordPress 4.4. Big release called Clifford. Has lots of great stuff inside of it, and we are not going to cover all of that. But I'm going to go back to my little updates panel and update the last plugin, which is WooCommerce, and it tells me the compatibility level with WordPress 4.4, which I've just updated to, and it says it's 100% compatible according to the plugin author. You can click this link to always view details, and it'll let you know what has been updated. Okay, in 4.4, they fixed permissions error. They, they were missing variation items when WP get attachment image source set returns false instead of a string, which is some programmer thing that you probably are not interested in right at this moment. And so they tell you the fixes that they've added to the plugin in order to make it more compatible with the current core update. What we'll do is we will go ahead and update the plugin. Once this is updated, then we're going to go back and talk a little bit more about these plugins. So plugins on a regular basis, they will need updating. There are three things within your WordPress install that need updating. That would be your core of WordPress, the core technology that runs WordPress needs updating. Plugins need updating. And the reason plugins in core will be updated, along with the third thing, themes. So you just saw every one of those updates. The reason those need updates on a regular basis is because the WordPress project is continually moving forward, and the technology that powers WordPress is also continually moving forward. So as there are changes in the technology, then WordPress needs to update to adjust to the changes in the technology of PHP or MySQL. And as the WordPress project itself, the core central project, moves forward, that means as it adds features or as it finds bugs, and as it finds holes in security, those things are updated. Those things are added into the updates. And those updates keep your website secure. They keep your website running at an optimal level. And those things keep WordPress as the most desired technology at the forefront of content management systems on the planet. So there's lots of developers working on the WordPress project at any given time. They're global. They are global. And things are run fairly smoothly. Now, here on the plugins page, you can see, we talked a little bit about the filters, but you can also see, all of your plugins here. And each plugin has different options, whether it be activate, edit, or delete. So you get lots of information depending on how the developer has set up their plugin. You may have more or less actual options on this screen for your plugin. I would encourage you to never edit your plugin. Even though the button is there, I would encourage you to never ever edit the plugin. Unless you're going to completely rename the plugin, you're a developer, and you're going to release that plugin under another name. I would never encourage you to edit a plugin. This plugin, Akismet, is currently not active. This plugin, Contact Form, which we did go over last week, is currently active, and we showed you a little bit about, how to add a contact form to your page. Let's just go back out to this website, and we will see exactly what we had set up on the contact page. So I'm going to open up contact page, and this this is, I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger because of the responsiveness of this theme. You can't see the actual contact form. So this is the contact form that we created last week. And this contact form was actually created with the Contact Form 7 plugin. And it's placed into a web page via a shortcode. So once we activated the Contact Form 7 plugin, it gave us this option on the sidebar. And it looks like an envelope, and it just simply says contact. If we were to click on contact, then it takes us to the actual Contact Form 7 administrative page. I would say the page that it really shows us, kind of an overview of, what Contact Form 7 is about, gives us links to getting started, and gives us a few facts that we can use to understand this plugin. And I can dismiss this. What I'll do is I'm just going to dismiss that. But there's also on this page screen options. And usually, if there isn't like an overview that I just dismissed, if there isn't anything like that on the page, usually I will go to screen options. And actually, I'm sorry, not screen options, but help. Click on the help button, and I will see what's available in the help section for my understanding. Because I need to understand this plugin in and of itself. Because this plugin in and of itself performs a specific function that is going to benefit my website. It's going to help me. And so in order for me to use it, I need to understand it. And their documentation normally is under the help section. And if it is not under the help section, I could actually go back to the plugins page, and I can click view details. And usually here on the details, then the description gives us information. I'll read through that. I will read through the description. Under installation, it's usually about the same. Sometimes they'll give a link. Here's a link for the plugin homepage. I'll check out the screenshots. Change log is there. So there's plenty of information about this plugin. Under FAQ, frequently asked questions, that gives me more information and links that I can click on to understand this plugin in and of itself. The important thing I want you to know is that whenever you are setting up plugins, you need to read. You need to dig into this information and first go to the settings, read all of the settings, because those settings are going to give you an understanding of what this plugin can do. And then read through the description and the documentation. This is not like a complete reading. It's similar to skimming through a book. And so I would encourage you to skim through it initially, and then if you have a little bit of trouble with setting it up, then go back, skim through it again, and read more detail, in more detail about it. So that's what a plugin, Contact Form 7. This Contact Form 7 plugin, this is just a little bit of an overview of the different areas of your plugins. So let's move forward from that. So as we talk about plugins, you're always gonna, let's say you want to add another plugin. You want to click on the Add New button, and this area, when you click the Add New button, gives you different ways to add new plugins to your website. You can either upload a plugin, or you can search your plugins. You can search for plugins from the actual WordPress repository. These plugins are coming from wordpress.org/plugins. These are remotely hosted on another website, except I'm pulling them up here on my dashboard, and I can install them directly from my dashboard. And this is a very, very useful thing. So if I'm looking for a plugin for Instagram, I can search for that here, and it'll bring me up a list of plugins. And the way I normally judge or vet a plugin is that I will read the description, read the title, read the description, find out if it actually does what I want it to do. Let's say I wanted to create an Instagram gallery on my website. This is Instagram. This first plugin is an Instagram feed. It's a user-friendly tool for displaying user and hashtag-based feeds on your website. It seems like the exact plugin I may need. I go in and I'll read more. I'll find out what's the rating. This one has a 5-star rating, and it's based on 10 ratings. So looks like a pretty popular plugin. Looks like the ratings are there. I'll look at how long ago it was updated. This one was last updated 5 days ago. Not long ago was it updating. So the developer is active. How many installs? 1,000 plus installs. So I will go with whatever plugin looks to be the most credible, not only through social proof of the ratings, but also how many people have it actually installed on their website. And then also, make sure that, it's been updated recently, and also make sure that, it provides the actual functionality that I need. So those are just a few things that you can look at. Like here's one that has 100,000 plus installs. The last time it was updated was 3 weeks ago. So this plugin is semi-active. It does the same thing, but it has more ratings and it has more installs. So in my opinion, it's been around longer. This plugin, this first plugin that's listed, has 5-star rating, but 10 people have rated it. The next one is a 5-star rating, but 191 people have rated it. So, which one would I choose? I don't know, probably the 191. I'd probably give this one a try as well. So that, is the automatic installer, the automatic plugin installer. So, and then there's also the editor, which, if you're just wanting to break things, which it's fine to do, make sure you have a backup, then touch this. If you just want to break something, go here and edit your plugins. I actually usually turn this off for my clients. They can't even see this. So I don't edit plugins because plugins are like the core WordPress software, and they will be updated from a remote location. And, I don't have to worry about the plugin itself. Like, if I ever edit a plugin, I will completely rename the plugin. I will make it my own. And, that's the only way I will touch the code there. So if you want to add whatever function you want to add to your website, there is most likely a plugin that is available for you to add that function to your website. That is the cool thing about plugins. Plugins provide functionality that you more than likely would not want to sit down and write or code for yourself. So that's a little bit of an overview of plugins. Go to the menus. All right, so I have something here for menus. Great. So the menus, and we talked about this again, the menus can be created or edited from appearance menu section under your dashboard. So because we covered this before, I'm not going to try to go too deep into it. So, you can edit and create the menus here under appearance menus. You can drag and drop menus. Currently, we have this widget menu created, which I believe it was probably episode 3 that we did this. I'm not completely sure. Don't quote me on that. But we created this menu, and we also put it into a menu location. So here on this actual thing, we have 2 locations. We have the navigation menu location. We have a social menu location. So the navigation menu would most likely at the primary menu under navigation menu. Under social menu, we haven't created a social menu. So let's just create a social menu really quick. I'm going to save those changes, and I'm going to create a social menu that is not really, it's just going to be to show you it's a social menu. You can do this. So social menu, we're going to create this menu, and we're going to add Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. So in order to do that, I need to first create this menu. I've created social menu, and then I need to select social menu, which it should have selected itself. But what I'm going to do is add custom links, and I'll add Facebook, add that, and I'm adding the hashtag sign, the pound symbol, just as a space. It fills in space right now. And I'll later go in and add the link. Twitter, Instagram, and I'm going to add Pinterest. Pinterest. Oh, I keep doing that backwards. Okay. So, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. Add Pinterest. And I'll save this menu. Now here's a cool little shortcut. I mean, it doesn't have to be this way, but this is just one option. First, I'm going to throw this menu into, I'm going to place, let's not say throw, I'm going to place this menu into the theme location of social. Then I will save that and go back out to the front end of my website, and I'm going to refresh. So I should see that social menu show up in a location. So, okay, I actually see, I don't see it show up. So I saved it, but it's not showing up. Save menu. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to refresh. Oh, look, this is it down here at the bottom right, the bottom of the corner. So it's expecting, you know, to have an icon or something in there. It's not showing the text, which I was expecting to see. So what we'll do is we'll add an icon. And this is a simple way to add icons to menu. I add, you know, there's a cool little plugin. I think it's, let's just search menu icons. Because this is just a plugin. Font Awesome Icons Collection. Okay. So this will AGP Font Awesome. This plugin allows you to integrate Font Awesome icons to your WordPress website. With this plugin, you can use various types of Font Awesome based icons, buttons. You can find a live demo at this site. Let's look at the screenshots before we go all the way to that website. And so I mean, it looks like it may do what we want, but I don't know if I want to install that. So so here's the one called menu icons. Let's look at this one. Okay. After the plugin is activated, go to Appearance Menus to edit your menus, enable, disable icon types menu, and menu icon settings meta box. So this is a small plugin that will allow me to have menu icons as well. Don't know enough about it. So what I'm just going to say is Font Awesome is a image or menu library that I could use. And maybe they'll have something. This is the one we just looked at right here. Let's see, Font Awesome for menus. This looks like maybe it would work. Okay, so let's see. Add Font Awesome. So it gives me a warning, said it hasn't been tested. So I need to be careful. But I may just, so this one says just add FA icon name. Okay, so this gives me, you know, an option just to add the name of the class into the menu, which should be easy. So I'm going to install that plugin, and I'm going to activate that plugin. And I'm going to go to the Font Awesome website, because then I will know Font Awesome. I will know which icons I want. So go to the Font Awesome website here, and I can see if I go to icons, click on icons, I can actually search for icons. So let's search for Facebook. Okay, so here we go. We got Facebook official. So in order for me to use this icon, I'm going to need to use this class name in my menu, FA Facebook official. So let me try that. I just added the plugin. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, then usually I'll go back and try to find a different plugin, you know, and the easiest way sometimes is to do a plugin, but then if you got to get right down to it, you may have to code it in by hand, which we're not trying to get you to touch the code. So I'm going to go back to Appearance, Menus, and I'm going to go to the social menu that we already had, Facebook. And what I'm doing is I need to add this class. It's like a class in HTML, but in the menus area, it gives me an option to turn on CSS class names. So I will go under Screen Options here at the top, and I will turn on CSS class names. And now available to me in this single link for Facebook is an area called CSS classes. And I will paste the FA Facebook official class that I just copied. And that should give us a fun, awesome icon if this plugin is actually compatible with, you know, the version of WordPress I'm running and it's working as I've expected. So I saved the menu just now, and I'll come out to the front end. I'm going to refresh. Okay, I see something here on the front end, but it doesn't look like a Facebook icon, which is weird. And so, you know, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I need to add the link. Let's try to add the link. Facebook.com/IEWP Meetup group. Let's try that. Save the menu item. Go back out, refresh it. There we go. So look at that. Okay, so it actually, I bet you I don't even need that font awesome icon because it's not showing up anyway. I think it just shows up and I just wasted a lot of time there. Let's see. So yeah, there we go. The social menu, Facebook shows up there without the font awesome icon. So that link really wasn't necessary. So this will show Twitter. And this is twitter.com/IEWP. I think it's IEWP Meetup. So I'm going to save that. This is going to show Twitter. There we go. Facebook, Twitter. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, this theme actually, because it had the social menu, it actually allows for you to actually just put those URLs and it recognizes URLs, which is very convenient. But then again, there's no documentation for this theme that I've looked at. And assuming that, you know, about 70% of themes don't contain documentation, that's one of the things that, you know, could present a problem. So Instagram.com, and for the last one, we're just gonna do Pinterest.com. We're not gonna try to link it any specific place. This is in public. This is on my computer. So Pinterest.com. All right, I'm gonna save all of these, and each one should have its own icon next to it. Pinterest does, but not Instagram. Instagram.com. So obviously the theme author, looks like the theme author did not consider, oh, there it is. So it was case sensitive. So now we have Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and Facebook. All four of these popular social networks in the social menu. Cool. So Under menus, you know, and with these menus, with each menu, you can create different types of unique menus from pages, from this is product, this products. It has shown up because I have the WooCommerce theme enabled. So you can use products as a menu item. You can use custom links. We created custom links here. You can use categories from your post or your blog. These are going to be post categories. You can use tags. You can use product categories. And then you can also use product tags. WooCommerce endpoints. So anything with product or WooCommerce is coming from the WooCommerce plugin. And you can turn those off with screen options up here. If I didn't want to see those, if I didn't want to see anything from WooCommerce, I could turn them off up here at the very top underneath screen options. And now I only have my most basic options for menu available. So there we have it. And you know, once I have the menu that I want set up, I need to always save my menu. And if I don't save the menu, then, you know, if you don't save your menu, then the actual, sorry guys, looks like I've been logged out automatically. Let's go back really quick. Okay, so if I don't save my menu, then I'm at risk of losing it. Okay, so it is now 10 o'clock. We've covered mostly plugins in menus. Around 10:15, I will check to see if anyone has questions. And if you do have questions, then we will cover those as well. I'll go back to the setup guide and let's see what the next step is. Headers. So headers, you know, actually they are not in every theme. And because there is right now somewhat of a transition going on in the way people build themes, headers are one of those hit or miss things. Some themes, custom themes, actually contain headers, and some themes don't. What I am actually excited about is the customizer. So if you go under Appearance, Customize, then normally this is where you can edit not only your header, you can edit every other area of your theme here. So normally, you know, right here, it's the header really is like the text here. So it's the site title. I can change this within the customizer, and I will save and publish that. So instead of another Saturday School, we'll just call it Saturday School theme. And so, you know, there really are no options in this theme to add a header image. One of the things that used to be very common with many themes, and you can still find it around today, is that many themes will have a site, a header, you know, image, but that's at the most fundamental level. So, you know, headers is a section of the theme setup guide that, you know, we may have to just kind of do away with, because there's options for headers in some themes, but not all. This is just to give you really an overview of what you will find out there. So headers are found in some things, but not all. The more reliable place at this point is to begin to go into the customizer, and that's found under Appearance, Customize. And so in the customizer, once again, you won't only find things about the header, you will find, you know, most of the options to actually customize your theme. You can change the background color, You can make it look groovy like that, very bright red, or let's see, you can do a green, yellow. I mean, like, you know, the customizer is just a great way for you to come in here and try some things out. You can add a background image if you wanted to. You know, we got one image in there. You can tile it. You can not repeat it. This is really not a background image, so I'm going to remove that. There's so many things that you can do here in the customizer. And so that is something we're going to cover more in depth later as well. So sidebars and widgets. This says roles and capabilities. So I hadn't changed that. So next thing we're going to talk about is sidebars and widgets. We're not going to save this. We're going to leave this page without saving it. So if we go to the front page of the website, this is a full width page. But if I go to, let's say I go to sample page, or child sample page, I created this child sample page, and I gave it the layout of a left sidebar. So a sidebar is, you know, very descriptive of what it is. It is a bar on the side of your layout. Some people call them a side. That is, you know, to spell that out, it's ASIDE. That contains widgets. This sidebar contains, you know, important content that is usually related to what's on the page. So this content on the sidebar is usually related to what's here in the main content area. So here on the left side, we have most popular. These are the most popular posts on the actual website. We have a search bar. We have recent comments. Since this is a brand new WordPress website, we only have Mr. WordPress commenting, which is the first comment that you will get after you install a WordPress website. We have archives. So archives will take us to an archive page of what's been posted, you know, over time. I can go back to the actual sample page, and we also have categories. So these things here in the sidebar, each section that's divided by new title, except for the search bar, it doesn't have a title. Each section that's divided by a new title is called a widget. And if I go to appearance, widgets, then I can find basically the sidebar that I have with the widgets that are there. So we see the most popular is the very top one. There it is. We see the search bar comes next. Yep. So I can see that this sidebar widgets reflects precisely what's here on the front page, on this page template. And I can change this. So let's say I wanted to move my search widget above my recent posts, or what I call most popular. Then I can move it up, and search should now reflect this at the very top. All I have to do is refresh this page to test and see if that worked. Yes, 100%, it did work. And that is the way sidebars operate. These widgets are draggable. They're drag and drop. And just to give you an understanding of this widgets page, appearance widgets page, here on the left side, you have the available widgets, the ones that you can actually place into the sidebar. On the right side, you have your available sidebars. There's really only one sidebar on this theme. I can collapse this sidebar. You know, sometimes there's 4 or 5 sidebars that are available, depending on the theme developer. And I can, you know, collapse the sidebar and, you know, kind of work with other sidebars if there are lots of sidebars. But since there's not that many sidebars on this theme, then I can expand this sidebar and work with it this way. And below here at the bottom, there's a place called inactive widgets. What you can do is drag the widgets that are here on the sidebar down here to inactive widgets. And the ones that you remove from the sidebar will actually keep their settings. So if you drag categories, all right, let's say I drag this recent post here. This is going to deactivate it, but it's also going to lose the settings, which is the title that I put on there called most popular. But if I wanted to just deactivate the widget and I wanted to keep that title, then I'll just drag it here. And it becomes an inactive widget. It keeps the setting that I had, and I can always replace it without re-adding those settings. So if I look on the front page, it's now gone. And if I were to, drag it back up and place it back into the sidebar, then it's going to keep that title and it's going to say most popular here. There it is right there at the top. Now, if I were to drag this off into the available widgets, just dragging it off the sidebar, it deactivates it, but it's going to lose its settings. So there, it's deactivated, and I refresh, and that's, it's gone. But if I come here to this available widgets area, then I will notice that no longer is it under inactive widgets, and no longer do I have those settings either. I just lost it. But here's the recent post widget, which I can drag back, but I have to add new settings. So I can just type in most popular again to put the same settings back, but I have to retype that. And I click save, and now those settings are there. It reflects what it was before. I just had to reset the settings. So that is a handy way that you can manage your widgets and keep those settings. Another thing about widgets is that here you don't have to drag them. Let's say if you have a lot of widgets and a lot of sidebars, then sometimes you just don't want to drag it. And you can actually just click on the widget. And since there's only one sidebar, it only gives me one option. But normally there'll be about 3 or 4 options here, depending on the amount of sidebars available. And I just make sure that whatever sidebar I want it to be on is highlighted in blue, and the check mark is there. And then I can click Add Widget. Now I'm going to see RSS show up here on this sidebar. And I can enter an RSS feed URL. If I wanted to just use the RSS of this website, then I can go to feed, Saturday School Dev./feed, and that's going to pull in this RSS feed. And I can say Saturday School feed. And I can choose what I want to add to it. How many items would you like to display? Let's just say 3. Display the item content. Yes. Display the item author if available. Sure. Display the item date. Sure. So I'm going to save that feed widget. I just added the Saturday School feed to the sidebar. And let's drag it up above the most popular. So there we have an RSS widget. And we're going to go back to the regular website, and we're going to go back to the child sample page. And here we have a feed. This is the RSS feed of our website being fed into its own sidebar. You can actually grab an RSS feed from anywhere, anywhere on the web, and syndicate somebody else's content if you wanted to. It's very, very helpful, very handy little tool. I love it, and you should check it out. So there are tons of widgets available, and many plugins that you install will come with their own widget as well. So we see WooCommerce Cart, WooCommerce Layered Nav. This is because I have installed the WooCommerce plugin. And this gives me a lot of great information. So it is 10:13 right now. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And we are going to wrap this Saturday School up. And I'm going to check if we have any questions. If we do have any questions, I will answer those now. So today we've covered plugins, we've covered navigation, and we've also covered widgets and sidebars to a slight degree. Do you have any questions? And if there are no questions for today, then what I would like to do is open it up. If you go to our Facebook page, I'll share this with you. Not our Facebook group, but I want to direct you to our Facebook page. You can like the page, but you can also submit a question there, or you can submit a question via our website. And so I'm going to show you both of those. And if you have a question, you can submit those things there. And we will do our best to either answer those questions in the broadcast or answer those questions in the group or live. So all three of those options will be available to you. So let me share here. All right, so go here to facebook.com/Inland Empire WP. This is the actual page, the actual Facebook page. You can actually submit a question there if you would like, if you have a question. Or you can come here to Inland Empire WP, click on Contact, and submit a question via the contact form. And so any questions you may have with regard to Saturday School, maybe, even if you have requests or anything like that, you can do that as well. Once again, to catch up on the archives of Saturday School, simply go to youtube.com, and blog, or you can actually search for Inland Empire IEWP Meetup Group. And this is the actual page, IEWP Meetup Group. You can catch up here. All you have, once again, search for IEWP Meetup Group or Inland Empire WordPress. Any one of those will be available to you. It's information for you to catch up, for you to watch the previous Saturday Schools, and for you to get, set up with basic knowledge about WordPress. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was another great Saturday School. Hope to see you at the beginning of the year. January 5th is going to be our next in-person meetup in downtown Riverside on Market Street at Riverside IO. Don't miss it. It's going to be awesome. The 5th of January, and we are going to be talking about goals for the new year and ways that we can grow in our WordPress understanding and even our business understanding. So you are welcome to come. Go to meetup.com/Inland Empire WP and RSVP today. RSVP today. And hope to see you soon. Bye.